Ooh, what's up chaps, I'm MagicalMike and I want to talk about the Origins of Madness patch. I want to talk about what we got, what it means, how bad or good it might be, and the reasons for why I think that way. So overall we got a story instance, some collectible achievement objective things, and 2 mega bosses. And that's really it, to be honest. I mean, that's enough. And we also got some updates to the UI, and now mini-pets don't automatically deposit when you deposit all collectibles, but if you look at the quantity of the content, it's pretty small considering we've had so much time off. The 2 bosses themselves are actually pretty good and also incredibly bad at the same time. The ideas for how to beat them and the design choices, both visually and mechanically, are really nice. The marionette looks great, and I have to wonder what the thing it's attached to actually does, because the marionette just sort of laser beams everybody when it kills you. The worm isn't so good though, it's just 3 different coloured jungle worms, big whoop. And also selling that thing on the gem store is incredibly lame. I mean, come on, 3 mini-pets that look exactly the same in one pack? Boring. The mechanics are good ideas too. I can see that both bosses feel very unique, the worm more than the other. However, I have issues with both of them, which I'll talk about in a separate video. I'll just say that the worm feels as poor as Tequatl felt for me in the first few weeks. If I could fight these things in an instanced, organised area without giant zergs of people messing it up, they would both be absolutely fantastic. The marionette does alleviate this problem quite a lot with how its mechanics work, but the worm just doesn't, and there's people saying it might be broken at the moment, or it might just be bugged, or I don't know. Let's not go into it right now. So what about the story and such? Well, where do I begin? With the first NPC, I suppose, who gives you a rundown of all the info on the living story up to this point, and your character listens to this wall of text and says the words, "Go on," about 11 times. Yeah, so what? You say. Well, I noticed it, and it bothered me. If I noticed that the person I was talking to repeatedly said "go on" over and over again, I'd probably react to that and say, "Hey, are you listening? Hey, yo." My clicks just failed there. But I'd be annoyed at that person, and I'd probably ask them if they were actually listening. But anyway, after that rundown, we have a few conversations to watch between various characters, and I'm sorry to say that I just don't care. Yep. We've been around these guys for how long now? We've had plenty of time to flesh them out and get some character development, but we've had so little of it up until now, and then it all gets thrown in this instance, just like bam, 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 here's some character development, and some stuff, and some there, and this and that, and this angle, and this stuff, and I don't care. Just spread it out and have it be more interesting. They throw a lot of information at us here and introduce us to some potential plot lines and such, like Bram having to look after the new Asura kid, which I can't remember the name of, and Casmir's family story. This I have a problem with because I don't care. Like, why does she bring all this stuff up now instead of before? Why would she even bring it up at all? I don't... It's just strange to me. Mind you, some of this stuff would have come up if you'd read the dev blogs, which I sometimes do, but most of the time I don't care. And because this stuff isn't actually in the game, that's probably the reason why I don't care so much. So it's really hard for me to take any of the story very seriously at this point. After having such a pathetic personal story, I've tried so hard, and got so far, to be interested in these new characters, but I find it way too hard to just relate to any of it. I've been playing the game for over a year now, and none of the plots have tied up in any meaningful and satisfying ways, and I don't expect the Scarlet plotline to be able to do it either. Which is sad to me. I want a good story. I want it so bad. I want to get invested in this game again. I'm having such a hard time doing it. Oh, but we do get to look inside of Scarlet's secret lair, which has a bunch of stuff in it, and none of it really sheds much light on anything. Who'd have guessed? We now know that something is tormenting Scarlet and making her do these things, yet that hasn't really affected anything either. Who cares? Like, I kinda guessed that anyway, and it doesn't really affect anything. So yes, this is another patch where I complain about everything, because I'm just not being gripped by the characters or the story direction. And I'd like to apologise for that, because I'm not gonna BS and pretend that I'm loving the game a lot right now, like some other people might be doing. I just want a story patch so badly. I'm bored of these Mega Boss Zergs and these patches where you do the same things over and over again. Go collect 50 of this item, bring it back to this place, open a chest, go do this dungeon where the mechanics are all the same. I'm bored of it. Can I have some story? That's something we haven't had for the past year. Please. Dark Souls had a better story than this and it barely told it. I guess I'll just get the achievements and then I'll ignore it and level my ranger some more, because at least that's kind of relaxing. Let's just hope really hard that the end of this arc isn't an enormous disappointment like Zaitan was. However, thanks for listening to me moan, and I will see you guys next time.